What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. Hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the collaborative album between the bands The Body and Full of Hell, entitled One Day You Will Ache Like I Ache. This is released on Neurot Recordings. Yeah. The minute I found out that this album was going to be a reality, words and emotions could not stress how extremely excited and pumped I was for something like this. Because you have two bands that are very differing in styles, but in a way they counter each other quite well. Because on one end you have The Body, who are a band that are very difficult to describe. They have that really experimental, doomy, sludgy sort of sound. They're almost beyond metal in a sense. And they have been staking their claim throughout the better part of the last 15 plus years or so with their discography, their live performances, their collaborations with bands like Thou, The Haxan Cloak, and more recently with last year's collaboration with Krieg. They can pretty much collaborate with anybody and create ideas that are just so over the top and frightening. And on the other end, you have a band like Full of Hell, who, if you guys have been subscribed to me long enough, know how I really truly feel about this band. They are pretty much near favorite band status for me. Incredible live performances, tireless work ethics, wonderful humanitarianism, just great human beings overall, and they continuously come into their own with each single full-length album. They have one collaborative album under their belt, which of course was 2014's collaborative album with Merzbow, which is a monstrous record still to this very day. They were only really content with just doing a collaboration with Merzbow until the idea came forward of them collaborating with The Body. And that was something they really couldn't say no to, because if memory serves me right, The Body is Dylan's favorite band. Dylan, the vocalist of Full of Hell, I should say. That's his favorite band, and that's just something dreams can come into reality with something like that. So I want to say that this happened during the time in which both of these respective bands toured with each other in 2015, I want to say. Yeah. Sometime towards the end of that trek, these guys pretty much went into somewhere to record for about a week or so, improvised, ideas floating around, and just straight up thinking what was going to be the turnout of things. And lo and behold, we're here with this collaborative effort entitled One Day You Will Ache Like I Ache. Yeah. It's 8 tracks, and it clocks in at around 31 minutes in length. And if you're familiar with the last Body collaboration with Krieg, you could tell that that collaboration didn't really try to sound like either other band. But here on this collaboration with Full of Hell, you can see why they suit each other so well and complement each other so well with their respective styles. You pretty much get the best of both worlds in this collaborative album. You get the elements that you would know best from The Body with the elements that you would best know from Full of Hell. Although, I must say, there are some twists and turns that you don't see coming here on a release like this, and that's what will make the first listen very, very jarring. Because when I listened to this album for the first time, I was pretty much blown away by it. I didn't know what to think, how to feel, or how to comprehend it. Of course, this was one of those collaborative albums that you would need to give multiple listens and have the most strategic amount of patience to just get with and understand. But the more I listened to it, the more I realized why this collaboration needed to exist in the first place. Because it's scary, it's misanthropic, it's dark, it's moody, it's experimental, it's heavy, it's loud, it's abrasive. what else can I say other than that I think that this collaboration is pretty much brilliant. Um, Starting off with the title track of this record, you pretty much get straight up settled in with some really crazed and spastic drumming, and then the mixture of really well-timed riffs and chords going on, just the way everything is settled in. And then moving on from there, it's just straight up madness and insanity. Um, there's a track on here called The Butcher, which I want to say is the Leonard Cohen cover. It's interesting that they decided to tackle a song by him and make it all into their own. Just the drum, the pulsating moments of the drum, of the way the drum is on the song, and then just the plodding sort of bass riffs or tones of that nature. You can tell there's a lot of heaviness going on in that song. It almost feels like you're not really listening to either sort of band. You're hearing something completely new. But then you get to a song like World of Hope and No Pain. You feel like you're listening to a Full of Hell song, but once you hear Chip from the Body's vocals go in, it feels as if the roles have been reversed. You're hearing the Body on a Full of Hell song, which is just so intense. But going back to a song like Fleshworks, where you hear these really beautifully sung vocals go on, and then halfway towards the song you get the mixture of both Dylan and Chip's vocals. Both of their vocal styles complement each other very well, and they're both so very distinctive. Dylan has that really impeccable sort of growl, a lot of madness and intensity in his voice, and then of course you have Chip, very recognizable high-end sort of screams. He is a scary, scary sounding guy. If you've seen his stage, if you've seen the way he plays live and how he handles his business, you can tell why he sounds so scary. And he really does bring in the fear factor when it comes to this collaborative album. But then, of course, things get a little bit stranger. You have a song like Himmel und Hol, which pretty much feels like an amalgam of harsh noise and electronics, with the vocals of both Dylan and Chip counteracting one another. And it's just frightening. Then you go to a song like Bottled Urn, which almost feels as if you're crossing towards more death industrial sort of territory. There's a lot of high emphasis on electronics here, but that isn't to say the instrumentation on here doesn't get ample opportunities to shine here. The riffs sound monstrous when they need to be. The drumming moments sound phenomenal. The bass guitar is very, very loud and dingy. I love how they make this sound throughout the entire record. Since both bands have different sort of drummers, it's kind of hard to tell who's involved here. I don't know if it's Dave or it's Lee. Both of these guys are incredible drummers, but I really don't know who handles the brunt of the drumming here. But the drumming is great. Once you hear the spastic sort of drumming going on throughout the first opening moments of the album, and then later on when things become a little calmer, I really like the ebb and flow of the drum work going on here. Instrumentation is on point here. Vocals are phenomenal. Once again, going back to the interplay between Dylan and Chip, both of their vocal styles work very well with each other. They suit each other very well, and there are a lot of wonderful moments to be held on here with a release like this. This collaboration pretty much met my expectations and a great deal more. If you're a fan of both of these respective bands, I would definitely say give this collaboration a shot, because there's some seriously evil magic being brewed here for a release like this. It's not going to be easy on the first listen. You will have to really give this many, many listens to fully comprehend and get what's going on, because it can be scary at times, but you'll feel comfortable once you dive into deeper waters with One Day You Will Ache Like I Ache. It is a monstrous collaboration, and I love what's being done here. So if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Fleshworks, The Butcher, World of Hope and No Pain, and Bottled Urn. Those are some of my favorite tracks off of this collaboration. So What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you links to the song The Butcher, and there is a recent music video for the song Fleshworks, which I think is really, really awesome and worth watching. And I will leave you links to where you can purchase this album. It is currently available right now as a CD. There are options to buy t-shirts and flags. I believe both Dylan and Full of Hell and Lee of the Body are collaborating to self-release this on vinyl, because I know there's a lot of people within both respective fan bases who can appreciate vinyl, so there will be vinyl orders coming very, very soon, so be on the lookout for that. And to any of you who happen to live in Europe, both Full of Hell and The Body will be touring together again in Europe throughout the majority of the month of April, so please keep your eyes and ears out for potential tour dates and when they will be hitting your neck of Europe or whatever. So again, the album is One Day You Will Ache Like I Ache by The Body and Full of Hell. This is released on Neurot Recordings. Go pick this up when it's out. It is scheduled to be released this coming Friday, so make an effort to go and buy this. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very strong 9 out of 10. This is some seriously challenging stuff, probably one of the most challenging albums to come out this year and for many, many more years to come. So yeah, this is worth looking into. So I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks all for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until the next time, Armigo out.